Hey everybody, Todd and Sarah from Living Hope.
where there's always hope with God. Todd, do you remember Peter Marshall?
No, I don't specifically.
Peter Marshall was a pastor in Washington, D.C., and then he
Okay.
was appointed the chaplain of the U.S. Senate. And if you want to
Oh,
know
all
more
right.
about him, I'll share with you a quote.
I'd love to hear it.
So Peter Marshall says, God will never permit any troubles to come upon us unless he has a specific plan by which great blessings can come out of the difficulty. Peter Marshall.
That's a great quote. Yeah, that has a lot of
Agree.
weight. Yeah, I
What
like it.
what does that mean to you in your own words?
Boy, to me, I feel like that's I guess it could be narrowed down by God won't let us deal with anything that we're not prepared to deal with.
Yeah.
But that said, we have to keep in mind that God has a longer term vision for us than we have. We think in our lifetime, we think about the next year, or the next month, or the week, or
What's for
10
dinner?
years, what's for dinner. We think on these short term scales. God's looking at us through a lens of eternity. And so even when we run into something that's kind of not the way we want it to be, at the same time, God knows the long-term strategy on it.
I mean, sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't want to cut you off, but think
By all
about
means.
Job.
Yeah, look at Job.
Wow. I
Yeah.
mean, he really went through some trials, but God
Sure.
knew exactly where he was leading him.
Right.
And if we know the end of Job's story, we know that everything he ever loved was taken away from him,
Right.
but then it was given back in multitudes.
True. Yeah, absolutely.
That Peter Marshall. Let me read that quote again. It says, God will never permit any troubles to come upon us unless he has a specific plan by which great blessings can come out of the difficulty.
Yeah, very true. Do you have a scripture verse that goes along with that?
Well, a little something about Job, yeah, in Psalms 55:17. Well, we can think about Job when we read this, but evening, morning, and noon I cry out in distress, and he hears my voice.
Wow, so
So-
God hears our voice.
Every trial that we go through, God already knows.
Yeah. Wow. How comforting is that?
Super comforting. So if you're going through the thick of something and
Sure.
you have some troubles, be reminded of what Peter Marshall said
Right.
and what our Bible says. God
Yeah.
will not allow us to go through troubles unless he has a plan. So
Right.
blessings over your plan,
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you guys find this all helpful.
and have a blessed day.
Yeah.